Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sports Drive. This is episode 5. I am your host, Ian, along with my co host, Tanner. Tanner, how are we doing today?
Well, pretty good. Hoping for a Twins bounce back win.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed yesterday that our 40-year-old man was the only one who can score a run for the Twins yesterday, but we got a young buck out in right field today, so hopefully he can provide a spark for this team.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be interesting to see. What do you want to start with today? What sport?
Um, let's get the NFL out of the way,
Okay.
and then we'll move on from there.
Starting with the NFL. Yesterday the Tennessee Titans had 8 confirmed positive cases of COVID-19. Um, Turns out today they had another positive one. The league has come out and told both them and Pittsburgh to prepare to play on either Monday or Tuesday night, depending on how this keeps going. The Vikings still have had no new positive cases. They'll be returning to their practice facility on Thursday. You have any thoughts on this?
Why? Like, if you knew that somebody, you know, tested positive for COVID, why would you push playing on Sunday when they can just reschedule the game and you can play on another day? Um, Mike Vrabel and that organization has to be smarter in how they deal with things, because I have a feeling there's going to be massive fines coming down, maybe suspension of players or coaches. Um, just why? What is the point? Like, I understand that it's Sunday and it's football and people want to watch you play, but come on, man.
See, I don't think they knew about it because if they had known about it Saturday, it being a practice squad tight end, a long snapper, and somebody else, it wasn't any of their like big players. So I think they would have held them out no matter what had they tested positive Saturday. I think they're gonna. I think the league, had they known about this and they would have pushed those guys to play, obviously the league would have gotten involved more than they already did. But I think because they didn't really know, the league won't do anything.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody had to have known something somewhere, because these players are tested all the time.
They're only tested as certain times a week, and the last test comes on Saturday. And I mean, you could have the virus could be embedded in your body for a while, and you couldn't test pot. There's a chance you might not test positive for days after you contract it.
Yeah, I suppose. But it's just one of those things, man. I hope that, they can control it and it doesn't spread, to other teams and they end up having to cancel the season.
Yep. I don't think it will. I think if the Vikings didn't catch any cases, I think it's fine. This is the only real issue they've had all year with it. Obviously, they had some issues during camp, but those were false positives, which it was good in a sense that happened because they kind of figured out, like, okay, this plan's obviously going to work. We know for sure, no hitches, you know.
Yeah.
Moving on with the NFL. Um, Devin Hester, in a show, on a little interview show he did, he was asked about Jay Cutler, and he said he's the best QB when it comes to accuracy, power, and knowledge, but when it comes to leadership, he's the worst.
Some reason that doesn't surprise me. Jay
Oh,
Collar's Jay Collar's an intelligent guy, but he's talented, gifted, you know, like Devin Hester said, accurate as all heck. But when it comes to leadership, he takes a back seat.
yep.
And when you're a quarterback, you need to be the one leading that team. You know, why do you think guys like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady are so good at what they do? Is because they're leaders on the field. They come in and they expect you to perform, do your job to win a football game. And Jay Cutler, I think, mostly just played for the money. I don't think he was, really, really in the NFL to win games. I think he just wanted to play football and make money. So,
Yeah. Next in the NFL, after a picture surfaced of many Raiders players not wearing masks indoors at Darren Waller's charity event, they sent out a memo saying that they're potentially going to start penalizing teams with suspensions and fines and pick forfeiture for failure to follow the protocols.
I mean, that's just stupid, man. You're an NFL player. You know the rules. Come on. Like, really? Like, do what you're supposed to do. If you're supposed to wear a mask in public and wear a mask around, people outside the NFL, your friends and family, do it. It's not that difficult.
No, it really isn't. Number 2 overall pick, Chase Young, will be out this week for Washington football team. He's considered week to week with a groin strain. Through pretty much 2.5 weeks, he has 2.5 sacks.
I don't know if you've watched any of his games or anything, but since he's come into the league, man, he's gotten huge.
Oh, he's been just dominant out there. He looks like he totally deserved to be probably the number 1 pick, really. But with Burrow, it was always going to be a toss-up between who goes where.
Well, since he needed a quarterback, so.
Moving on, the Chicago Bears have announced they'll be starting Nick Foles the rest of the way going forward. And the Denver Broncos will be starting Brett Rypien, however the heck you say it, going forward. Brett Rypien's good college quarterback, Boise State. Just another one of those guys who goes there and succeeded. Brad Zabrowski, Kellen Moore, and now Brett.
Yeah. Before we started recording, I was watching some college highlights on him, and it looks like he's got a big arm, accurate. I think he's going to give Drew Lock a run for his money for that starting position. The guy's finally getting a shot. I think Elway obviously saw something in him to when he drafted him. So, I really hope Brett Rypien can be the guy in Denver for now, and at least get us our win on Thursday night because
Yeah.
0-3 kind of hurts a little bit right now.
Trust me, I know that all too well. 0-3. Oh my God. But moving on to the NBA. Tonight, NBA Finals Game 1 starts. Miami Heat versus the LA Lakers. I was rooting for Boston, but anyway, it should be a good matchup. Jimmy Butler said that he doesn't look at the Heat as underdogs. He said with the way the teams performed the Miami Heat way, he doesn't think anybody on that team views them as an underdog against the Lakers.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler, man, he's brought the swagger back to that Miami team. Who says you need, a 3-headed monster to get to the NBA Finals? You just need a guy like Jimmy Butler, you don't need to go out and spend, millions of dollars on 3 players. Just go out and spend millions of dollars on 1 player and get, the team behind him. I was reading an article earlier this week about how when Jimmy Butler was here in Minnesota, he didn't have an issue with Wiggins, and Wiggins didn't have an issue with him. The issue was Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns was way too soft, and Jimmy Butler called him out on it.
Well, see, I didn't see anything about Butler coming out saying that it wasn't Wiggins. I've only seen Andrew Wiggins come out and say that Jimmy Butler wasn't the problem in Minnesota, that he didn't have a problem with him. And I have also saw Tyus Jones also say that he never had any issues with Jimmy Butler, which, when you think about it, the common denominator has to be Towns. Guy cries for fouls all the time. He's soft on defense, and he acts like a baby.
Well, it was like, our last video when we were talking about the Timberwolves, and the only time that Cat wasn't soft was when Kevin Garnett was on that team.
Yep.
So I don't know if they need to bring Kevin Garnett in there to whoop his ass in the post or what they need him to do, or if they just need to trade him and, keep D'Lo and try to get Booker or, I don't know what they need to do, but Cat needs to figure something out because he's obviously not the person to be building around in Minnesota.
Yeah, you can't be dealing with guys that are that soft. At this point, I'd be willing to trade Cat for shit. At this point, I'd take Ben Simmons.
I would try to get, if you're going to trade Cat to the 76ers, I'd try to get Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Embiid right now. And I don't like Joel Embiid. I never have liked him, but I think Rosas, if the Timberwolves don't, perform well this year, and Cat, I don't even think Cat's in their bubble right now. Like, I don't even know what's going on with that situation.
No, he's not in the bubble. There was pictures of him that surfaced of him and one of this girl who she's friends with, like one of either Kendall or Kyle. I don't remember which one of those two. And apparently they're together now, which is real great because that's exactly what we need, the Kardashian-Jenner curse. And I know Juancho Hernangomez is currently not in the bubble. He is filming a movie with Adam Sandler currently. But otherwise, I know the rest of the team is there.
Cat hasn't been there all offseason, has he? Because I know
He was there with the team originally, but he just decided not to join them right away in the bubble. I know Rosa said there are going to be guys who can't finish with the team in the bubble, which obviously, as long as they're there part of the way, it helps with chemistry and team building. But not having Towns there really hurts with the chemistry factor, being as Towns is supposed to be your franchise cornerstone.
Well, yeah, he's supposed to be one of your leaders on that team.
Yeah, I really don't get why he's not in the bubble. You'd think you'd want to get as much practice with your team as you can so you can build a chemistry with them.
I mean, look at D'Lo. That guy's in the gym every morning. I've seen Instagram videos of him in the gym at 5:30 in the morning shooting hoops. He wants to win here in Minnesota, and I just don't get the feeling that Cat does.
No, I think he's more focused on the money, to be honest.
Well, and I know that, his mom died of COVID, back when this thing first started. And, maybe he's dealing with depression from that or something. But, I mean, come on, man. This is supposed to be your team. You need to get in there and start practicing with them.
Yep. Other NBA news. The Los Angeles Clippers fired head coach Doc Rivers after 7 years as a head coach. In those 7 years, he never once reached the Western Conference Finals, blowing a 3-1 lead twice. Most recently this year to the Denver Nuggets. Can't really fault the guy for his players not stepping up. Kawhi playing like absolute garbage game 7. Paul George, aka Playoff P, or as I like to call him, Pandemic P, because he was hot garbage in that bubble. Uh, Man, he really did that family dirty. He was dating Doc's daughter, cheated on her with a stripper, and now he just got Doc fired. He did
Did
that
you
family dirty.
did you have you seen the memes going around on Facebook of fans holding up signs that says it's not your fault, Doc?
Yeah. And it isn't his fault. He got the short end of the stick in LA there. I think Steve Ballmer screwed up moving on from Doc Rivers because Ty Lue's not going to be a good fit. Stan Van Gundy is going to want control again like he had with Detroit. Jeff Van Gundy, I don't know. I don't know if his philosophy will fit today's NBA, but I know he'll be hard on those players, and I'm sure some of those players won't like it, but they'll have to deal with it.
Well, and any good coach can adjust to the way things are in the NBA right now.
Well, Tibbs couldn't.
Well, I mean, Tibbs is just a moron. We all know that story. He's gonna grind that New York franchise into the ground even further than it already is.
RJ Barrett and Kevin Knox are just going to be like dead in 5 years because they're going to be so tired.
No, he's gonna trade that. He's gonna trade them to Miami for Jimmy Butler.
I could see that happening. Excuse me. The 76ers are interviewing Doc Rivers and Ty Lue along with Mike D'Antoni. I don't think Ty Lue is a good fit as a head coach. I think he benefited from LeBron. Obviously, that remains to be seen. People were saying the same thing about Spo. People are saying, "Oh, he's not a good coach. He benefited from Wade, Bosch, and LeBron. He won't do anything without them. He's already got them back to the finals." I mean,
yeah,
it took a while, but they're back.
and to be honest with you, I would take any three of those coaches you just named as our head coach. Any three of them. I mean, are you kidding me? Mike D'Antoni, Doc Rivers, Ty Lue. Like those are three big names in the NBA as coaches.
Yeah,
And you have a guy like Ryan Saunders as your head coach. Like, maybe that's what the issue is, like like the last video we talked about. Maybe it's not Cat, maybe it's the coaching.
yeah. Moving on. Mark Cuban flew down to I don't remember where. I think it might have been down to Dallas. He flew down to. He wasn't currently in Dallas at the time, but he flew down to Dallas after seeing pictures of Delonte West homeless and looking really, really bad. He went down there and helped Delonte West and actually got him reunited with his mother. And Delonte West willingly checked into rehab with Mark Cuban's help.
Yeah, I mean, good for Delonte West. And good on Mark Cuban, man. Delonte West used to play for the Mavericks, and this just goes to show you that Mark Cuban does love his former and current players. I hope it all works out for Delonte. I really liked him as a player. Let's just hope it all works out for the guy.
Yeah, obviously he wasn't, superstar, but every team he was on, he carved out a really good role, and he was important. And I mean, another good thing is when he was with the Cavs, there was those rumors of him dating LeBron's mom, and there's those jokes that he's LeBron's dad.
I remember that. Oh my god, that was funny. I do remember that.
Moving on to college football. sounds like Rashad Bateman has officially now announced he's opted back in. Uh, he had announced he'd planned to opt back in, and now he's officially back. Uh, Penn State head coach James Franklin confirms their superstar linebacker Micah Parsons will not return due to COVID concerns still. But James Franklin said the door is always open for him if he wants to return at any point. A lot of mock drafts currently have Micah Parsons going 2 or 3.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but happy that Rashad Bateman's back. I was looking at the Gophers 2020 roster. They are loaded with talent, man. 3 and 4 star recruits. Like PJ Fleck has his team ready to win.
Yeah. Georgetown wide receiver Dijon Williams was arrested for the murder of Nordine Thomas, who was shot and killed July 21st. He's appeared in 15 games at Georgetown. Georgetown came out and said they're aware of charges against Dijon Williams this evening. While we are working to learn more information, we will cooperate fully with any investigation, and we stand prepared to offer resources to members of our community who may be affected by this news. At this time, there are no indications that the alleged crime took place near the university.
So was he the one that is being charged with the murder? Like he was the one who pulled the trigger, or is he just an accessory?
That's what he's being charged with. He's being charged with murder, not sure what degree. Obviously, I would assume it's going to be second degree because for first degree, you have to have indisputable evidence that he was there, he pulled the trigger, and killed that guy. But either way, idiot.
That's a good way to lose an NFL career, or any chance at an NFL career, I should say.
Yeah. After an embarrassing showing by their quarterback Saturday, Georgia has officially medically cleared quarterback JT Daniels, who transferred from USC this offseason. He's expected to play Saturday against Auburn. Notre Dame found the cause of their COVID outbreak. It was actually their pregame meal the night before. Not sure what the hell they were doing, having gatherings of that many people, because they ended up with 18 positive cases.
Well, you know that COVID can be passed through food too, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, still, what the hell are they doing having gatherings that huge?
I mean, if they were socially distanced.
Yeah, that makes sense. Moving on to the NBA or the NFL. Oh my gosh, MLB. I cannot speak today. We have a full slate of postseason baseball today. Currently, the Reds and Braves are in the middle of the sixth. Starting pitcher Trevor Bauer through 5 has a 1-hitter going, 8 strikeouts. For the Braves, they have given up 5 hits. Twins and Astros, top of the third, still 0-0. Through 2, Barrios has given up no hits. Same with Jose Urquidy, but he's given up 2 walks. Twins can't capitalize still. Today is also the debut of Twins top outfield prospect Alex Kirilloff. Everything I've heard about him is just rave reviews. A lot of the players are saying that him and other top prospect Royce Lewis are both pro ready. I guess during camp, Kirilloff was hitting nearly 800, struck out just 1 time. He wasn't getting himself out, like he wasn't swinging at dumb pitches. And I guess he's just an above average defender too.
Yeah. That's what I've heard too, and I'm really excited to see what Royce Lewis can do for this team too. Um, I don't know exactly where he's going to fit in, with our infield. Um, with Jorge Polanco, Luis Ariz, and now we have Josh Donaldson. You know, not quite sure where he's going to fit in. I don't know if they're going to try to trade, one of our infielders to move him up, or there's been rumors that they want to trade him for pitching. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with him, but
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I feel like with how frequently Donaldson's been dealing with his calf, I bet once he's ready, Polanco will move to third, where he's played quite a bit in the pros, and Lewis will take over at short, and obviously they'll flip flop him at second with it when Arias needs a day off, and then Polanco back at short, and they'll figure out third base, probably Adrianza.
don't they have another supposed to be stud infielder?
I believe they do. I can't remember his
Is it
name.
Nick Gordon's brother, right?
No, Nick Gordon. It's D. Gordon's brother, but I
Yeah.
heard he was struggling really badly at AAA. So I guess he's not quite ready. I know they've considered Brent Rooker too. Left fielder, first baseman, right fielder, lots of power. Not the fastest guy, but good defender nonetheless.
He's got a broken forearm right now, I think.
Yep, he got hit in like his third at bat in the majors.
That's rough.
Next, we have the Padres. Mike Clevenger's not on their wild card roster. They still have significant concern about him after his bullpen session Tuesday. There's talk he could be back next round, but the team's still skeptical on him just because he's been dealing with a bicep issue. Obviously, they acquired him in that trade with Cleveland where they sent like 3 or 4 below average hitters over to Cleveland.
Yeah, but didn't they get a stud reliever for him?
I don't know for sure. I know they got like a bunch of bad hitters and like I'm pretty sure they got a reliever too.
That's okay. Get him out of our division. Give us those crappy hitters to face.
Yeah. Last night, Shane Bieber, the reigning Triple Crown winner for the AL, just not even 5 innings last night. 9 hits, 7 earned runs. Horrible night for him against the Yankees. Fortunately, the Yankees went on to win by a lot. I've never rooted so hard for Cleveland in my life. But honestly, at this point, it's not even going to matter because the joke's on the Yankees. They won't even have a chance to face us because we're going to be eliminated.
I don't know. I mean, if we can win today, we do have to face Lance McCullers tomorrow, but we also have Mike Pineda going tomorrow. So, if the Twins can get past the first round, and if they play the White Sox, they can beat the White Sox. They've done it, plenty of times. So,
Yeah. Yesterday, both Lucas Giolito and Blake Snell of the Tampa Bay Rays took a no-hitter into the 5th inning. Giolito's was a perfect game. Snell's wasn't, but it's the first time in postseason history that 2 pitchers have taken a no-hitter into the 5th inning in the same day.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is, but Giolito's always struggled against Minnesota. So, like I said, if we can get past the first round and if we play those White Sox, man, we can beat them. So,
Yeah. I don't know if you saw yesterday, but like when they pulled Blake Snell, I was so confused. It was no hitter through five, 8 strikeouts. I think he was only in the 70s for pitches, but like I get you don't want to burn him out this early. Like, man, when he's got his stuff on like that, how can you pull him?
Well, yeah, and it's not like they've played 162 games. They've only played 60 games this year.
Yeah,
And Justin Morneau was saying, it takes at least 60 games to get warmed up in the season. So, you
yeah.
know,
Um, NHL, that ended. I don't remember what day. I just recently saw that Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup. Um, and I also saw that it was the lowest rated Stanley Cup final series since 2007. But it ended Monday because it ended the same day as the Chiefs game. I think having baseball, basketball, and football going all at the same time currently really affected hockey. Obviously, hockey's not meant to be ending in the fall just because of all the sports that are going. Uh, but it ended, and unfortunately, it just wasn't good enough for them rating wise.
yeah, and they were talking on the Power Trip Morning Show. The Tampa Bay Lightning have won the Stanley Cup. Tampa Bay, a place that has no outside hockey rinks, and we're supposed to be the land of, or what do they call us up here?
The land of 10,000 lakes,
No,
state of hockey.
the state of hockey, and we can't even get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Man, Minnesota is so pathetic. We literally between the five major sports of football, baseball, basketball, soccer, and hockey. Well, soccer's brand new still, but we literally have the longest title drought in North America. That's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
I hate being a Minnesota fan. Like when I was younger, if I knew what I was signing up for to be a Minnesota fan, I would have. Why couldn't they just fucking cheered for like Boston or New York, L.A.?
Hey, you live in North Dakota, man. You can change whatever you want. You're not technically living in Minnesota, so you don't have to be a Minnesota fan.
I'll tell you this, I'm sure as shit not going to be a goddamn cheesehead.
No, you can jump on the Kansas City Chiefs bandwagon.
Nah, I don't bandwagon hop. I'm staying a Minnesota fan until I die. Born and
Yeah,
raised that way.
I'll stick in as a mixed fan with Denver and Minnesota. So
Yeah.
I mean, at least we can win something in Denver, you know.
Shut up. God. Nice you guys have a Super Bowl.
We have 3 of them, actually.
Yeah, you don't have to remind me. Anyway, moving on to college basketball. No real news there. Just the pretty much that between the four or the two teams in the finals, for Kentucky, they have Rondo, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Davis. And those four have scored 1,898 points so far this postseason, which is already the most by a school in NBA postseason history.
That's a lot. That's a
Kentucky
lot.
for you.
It's all about recruiting and getting these kids to go to those colleges, man. And Minnesota just isn't it.
Yeah. Let me see if there's any other NFL news I'm missing.
Oh, and by the
Oh,
way, I wanted to add to the Nick Foles starting in Chicago.
okay.
Ask me if I'm surprised.
Are you surprised?
I'm really not. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky is not a very good quarterback. So
I mean, is anyone really surprised though? Like, yeah, they said, "Oh, Mitchell Trubisky has changed. He's so much better this year." Like, hell yes, he looks like the same old mediocre quarterback we saw last year.
yeah,
I can't believe they took him over Mahomes and Deshaun Watson.
yeah. Mahomes is smiling now. I mean, he's got a Super Bowl ring and he's got a baby on the way.
Yeah, I mean, he's sitting pretty money wise too, a $500 million contract.
He's probably got it in a fucking safe in his basement. He
Shit,
probably goes.
I'd be
He
keeping
probably,
that shit somewhere safe.
he probably Scrooge McDucks it and goes and dives in it after football games.
He probably has it all in $1 bill, so he can. That'd be it. That'd be quite the sight.
No, he's got it all in pennies.
That would hurt.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to do that, but um, looks like I'm not really missing anything news wise. I guess Chris Bryant, really struggling so far, or struggling this year. But I guess his teammates have a lot of faith in him. But it remains to be seen if he steps up.
yeah. I guess all I can say is go Twins, and remember everybody to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. This channel that Tanner and I have started has been a long time coming. It's been, this is something that I don't know about you, but I kind of have dreamed about, making a YouTube channel, talking about sports. I mean, I'm not really liking my overnight job, and I really want this to go somewhere and to do something for us. So
Yeah. See, I have always been told like, oh, you should get into like sports announcing because I've always been told like, oh, I'm so smart when it comes to sports and stuff. And I mean, yeah, that would be really cool. But I mean, this is just as good as a start as any. You don't need a degree to get into commentating.
right, and like Tanner and I talked about last video, we are still working on our new series that we want to start at the end of October, beginning of November. And when we get more details about it, like I said, we will let you guys know. Yeah, like I said, like, share, and subscribe, and let's get this channel going.
That's all I got for today.
That's all I got too.
All right. Thanks for your help today.
Yeah, you too.